come on up, because what we're going to do is I want you to understand when we talk about passion, we talk about imagination and ways to stand out. And these two guys have a great imagination like you won't believe. Of course, everyone give Fizz a hand. We know Fizz performed this morning. Fizz is a guitarist, songwriter, plays every instrument. And Fizz, of course, is my brother from the West Coast. So, Fizz, I know you're creative like crazy. If you get a chance, go on YouTube and look up Fizz. In fact, Rick, what was the thing we were doing with Fizz and the URL as far as the selfies? What were you doing?
Do you want me to speak out?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, actually, I was going to encourage people to take pictures with Fizz, to use your own camera, send it to him. He'll send it back with the URL of the Robin Williams video that he's made, and put it on Facebook. And I'd let Fizz say what he's prepared to do if you do that. Remember, you said you were going to.
Well, yeah, I want to organize it where we can raise money for comic relief because Robin Williams was so passionate about helping the homeless and helping people. I didn't mention to you that I wrote a song for a girl that made her transition from cancer. Obviously, there's a lot of things I don't share with people that I do, and it turns out that I met her mother at an event in Canada, and her name was Celeste, and she wanted to be an actress. So I wrote a song for her called Angel on a Stage. And one of her wishes, her last wishes, was to meet Robin Williams. Well, Robin spent quite a lot of time with her on the phone. So Robin had that kind of heart, for those of you that don't know. And so, yeah, so my intention is to do something of that sort, you know, and get out his legacy in song too, because he truly was one of our greatest entertainers of all time. There's no doubt about it.
So what we're gonna do is when you get a chance later, anytime you see Fizz, let's take a pic. Take a. Is it me?
It might be me.
It will be.
Oh yeah. It could be my hair making the.
It's the cosmic vibrations. What we're gonna do is.
Cosmic Man.
We're gonna take a picture with Fizz and a selfie, and you'll send it to Fizz. He's gonna put a link on it, and that's gonna send people to the Robin Williams song. All right, so we'll make sure that people understand. Hey, I'm with Fizz, writer of writer of the song for Robin Williams, kind of thing. So we're gonna help to spread the message that way, and he's gonna go ahead and direct people, and we're gonna raise money. We're gonna raise money for good charity. So. We'll do that. Will you do that for me when you were out later? Great, great. I want to also introduce Dan Fowler. So, Fizz, why don't you go ahead and
grab a seat? It's me.
It's you.
Dan is my twin brother. Dan.
Am I on here? No. No.
We'll talk very loud.
Okay, I will project. How about that?
So Dan heads up Imagination HQ. Dan Fowler. Anyone a good friend of Dan on Facebook? Because that's where I connect with Dan online. But Dan, tell everyone about Imagination HQ.
IQ.
IQ, Steve.
It's okay. Let's use this one. I'm going to use Ronnie's mic. I'm using Ronnie's mic, or trying to, or not. Oh, all right, okay, well.
I feel a little silly. I'm sitting down.
Sit still. Imagination IQ, well, it was born from an idea that I wanted to do an event that blew the top off of all events. Break all the rules, flip everything upside down. I do a lot of work with groups in one-on-one coaching, dealing with imagination, how to tap into their imagination and engineer it out into the world powerfully and profitably. And I do this through various ways, but most people don't give themselves permission to imagine. They think it's childish, or they think that that's beyond them, that they need to be more systems and tactics. And we need those. We need systems. We need the tactics. We need the structure. But what the hell do we fill that structure with? And that comes from the inner self. We need to really tap into the imagination realm, and that's where I am a master at. So the event came from a place of, I wanted to have an imaginative incubation chamber where we were able to tap into everyone's imagination and start creating blueprints for people's businesses, whether they're business owners or entrepreneurs, so they can start engineering that powerfully and profitably at the event, and then on and out into the world after the fact.
See, so go to Imagination IQ, imaginationIQ.com to check out Dan's events, because that's what was crazy. We actually got together on a call, and we were just brainstorming. We came up with a whole program again that really, again, was shaking it up. And what I surprised me when I looked at the event, and you were at Dan's event, and you had a bunch of big couches, right? And everyone was just, it was just this, it looked like you were in a Persian, you know, like there would be a harem somewhere nearby, and it looked like it was exotic.
We did, of course.
We had an orgy afterwards.
There was no orgy. Well, if Fizz had an orgy, I wasn't part of that.
Myself.
Oh, well. Okay, well then, Fizz, we'll have to talk about that later. Fizz was my music director, so the other thing is we didn't have any canned music. Well, I guess we had maybe 5% was canned music. The rest of it was all live. And we orchestrated, I kind of describe Imagination IQ as a Broadway show meets the House of Blues meets The Price is Right. That's what the experience was there. We did everything in the round. It was all in couches, cushy couches. People didn't want to go on breaks because they were just like, oh yeah. So there's pictures. You can go on imaginationIQ.com and see pictures from the event, see all the couches below. We had just so much fun. And that's the whole point. As business owners, we get to our place where we put so much pressure on ourselves to perform that we forget about the joy of the imagination, the ideas that actually got us to there in the first place. So I want to go back. I want to like track backwards so it can really bring that to the surface so you can have fun again. So I created an incubation chamber for us to do that. Fizz, Chris Cooley here as well was there. He was doing live art. So everything that we were teaching, he was sketching in art form. So we created a coloring book after Imagination IQ that everybody got. So you could take your own notes, but you could also have a coloring book with all the key points that we were providing as well. So, yeah.
So, let's just have a quick seat here. Go ahead and grab a chair there. And since we're going to end up sharing a mic, Fizz, why don't you sit there and...
This ain't on anymore? Yeah, it is. Okay.
So we're going to share a mic here.
Alrighty.
But, okay, here's what I want. I want everyone here talks about standing out, and I know a number of you that are super creative. I mean, super creative. But in standing out in business, sometimes it just doesn't, you know, we take our creative and we think we're super creative. And then what happens is people are like, you can't do that in business. Or they shoot you down and they say, what are you doing? I mean, like I said, I've been shot down many a time where, you know, it really made me feel, it lowered your esteem when you're thinking, wait a minute, I have all these great ideas. They're very creative, but maybe they're too creative. And they said, you know what? That'll work in your mind, but it won't work in real life. You ever heard that? So I want you to fill me in, Fizz. When someone tells you that, what do you tell them? When they say you can't be singing and writing these theme songs for other coaches and authors, and you know there's only so much you can write, otherwise all the songs will sound the same way. What do you tell them when you create creativity?
Nobody knows your soul more than you do. That's number one. So never listen to anyone when it comes to that stuff. The greatest people that ever walked this planet did not listen to what the people were saying. They were following their heart. They were following their heart. And so when Ronnie reached out to me and he called and said he was a fan of mine and I love what you're doing with the kids and your music, and I'd love to support you. And then I looked into what Ronnie is, and what attracted me to Ronnie was his individuality and how in tune he is with that, how he's got all the different modalities going on. I mean, he's using his both sides of the brain. I mean, he knows how to implement things, but he knows he's in touch with the heart, right? You can see that he's in touch with his heart. You know, he's got you all engaged with the heart. He's got his own identity. He's rock star, right? And by the way, Ronnie, I'm loving your music. Loving it, right? Isn't he great? Yeah, great. Give it up. I'm a fan, man. I'm a fan. And so I'm like, look at the amazing people showing up in my life, and this is what how it's supposed to be. The old way is done. The world as everyone knows it is over, whether you realize it or not. All the old paradigms are now falling away. And in the old world where the artists were picking up the crumbs, like what Chris Cooley's doing, he's like the artists are weaving everything together. Okay? It's always been about the heart. But people have been led by fear and they haven't been following their heart. And so now we're rising up our vibration, our awakening, and that's where you're supposed to come from, your heart. And nothing's more powerful than music. Music helps you channel from the heart to your mind, where most of you are just, how do I put the business together? From the mind, you're missing the heart. The heart's the most powerful. That's where you connect with people, from the heart. And Ronnie knows how to do that with the heart and with everything else too.
And we've seen that. You've heard that message. You hear people say, oh, well, you're very smart. You got this, you got these skill sets, you've got this experience. Maybe you spent 20 years in a particular industry. But then it doesn't feel right. It doesn't resonate with you in terms of what your legacy you're going to leave behind. So what do? But then you're like, well, I have this 20 years experience. I don't want to let that fall away. Otherwise I feel like I just wasted my time. What did I say? It's not just the destination that matters. It's the journey. So you didn't waste 20 years, but that doesn't mean you can't go to a different beach and enjoy that beach as well. You understand?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, Dan, you've done a lot of work, and Dan and I got a lot of similar background. Dan's as technical as I am. So when you had to take this jump, because you've really transformed, quite in the past 10 years, let's say, and you've gone to a direction that maybe people were like, wow, that's a little more on the, they call it the woo-woo side, right? When you're taking it, but I'm going, I understand that we're more connected than ever before. And if you asked me this 2 years ago, I would have went, what? I didn't understand. So what do you tell people when they're saying you can't blend, when we are two different worlds, when they say you can't blend your two worlds together?
Well, first off, I just smile and I say, thank you for sharing with me your opinion. But I would ask you to reserve your judgment until I do it. And then they can't say anything to that. Because I said, well, I'm gonna go do it anyway. And I said, if I fail, I will call you up. I will make a commitment to you to call you up on the phone, and you can tell me you told me so. Fair enough? Shake on it. And that's what I say. I don't back down. When I have that imagination bug, because I believe imagination is God whispering in my ear and in your ears as well. So there is no reason for me not to listen to those little whispers, because I'm not crazy. I'm being called to do something, called to emerge from wherever I was, to grow, to expand, and to help others do that as well. So if someone says that you can't do that, Dan, that's all they're saying to me is, I'm afraid for you to succeed because that means I have to change. That's all they're saying. And so I'm giving them an opportunity to save face, and I just say, thank you for that, and I appreciate you telling me how you feel, but reserve your judgment until I do it. Simple as that.
Well, that's actually very profound. Both, are profound, and that's what I'm saying. I've had conversations with a number of you. And of course, being a technology advisor, it tends to be very analytical, right? Let's go through, I get clarity, I understand your message, what you're trying to do to help others, and then I try to put it into a format where it's a product or service that you can deliver, and so on. But it's very business-like. But at the same time, what I also got from those same conversations where I was giving this business background was I was getting a lot of passion. We talk about passion being unbridled emotion. So people are saying, well, you got to channel that passion and do better. But at the end of the day, I want you to understand, stop playing semantics with me on what the term passion is about, what the definition is. I want you to understand that has to resonate for you to really, because let me put it this way. No one at the end of their life, no one's family is going to go, gosh, thank God he was a great solution architect. I thank God he was able to put down my message. No, at the end of the day, that you have a message, a mission in life that's going to come through, and stop thinking about what other people think you should be doing.
Amen to that. That's
right? I remember one, and Sherry, do you mind if I share our story together? Just our story here on when you came to me.
Yeah, you can.
Okay, so Dr. Sherry Rosenthal came to me, and really she is I call her a success coach, but she's about enjoying the journey. And she came to me, back in April or so, but actually before that, we were talking before that, and she didn't feel very good about what she was doing for the past year. She was very successful, she was helping people, but it wasn't resonating with her. She kept thinking, well, this is great. People on the outside were looking at her going, wow, you're a doctor and you've got this prescription for success, and to the outside, everyone thought she should be happy. She should be satisfied. She should be fulfilled. But she knew otherwise, and something didn't fit. We ended up connecting. She said, you know what, I want to talk to this little short Hawaiian. And it turns out, she goes, you know what, I like your style. We talked, she came, visited, and it was amazing. It was absolutely amazing, because then we were able to help her resonate better with a message that now she loves. And it fits, and we were able to combine multiple passions that people said could not be combined. You hear this a lot. You gotta focus. You gotta focus. Stop doing too many things. You're scatterbrained. You're so all over the place. Who has heard that? Raise your hand. Tell those people, come talk to me. Because you want to talk about scatterbrain, unfocused? I'm sorry, no. Because every tsunami is one wave built upon another wave, built upon another wave. Even if those waves are all over, those waves converge together. Do you believe that?
Yes. Yep.
Then it's time to create your success tsunami. Got it?
I tell them to go back in time and talk to Da Vinci.
Absolutely. I mean, holy moly, it's not about going all in separate directions. It's about how do the dots connect. People call me like the puzzle maker, because I can see all the different pieces, and like Ronnie, we can see how these pieces go together. They're separate pieces, but they all go together and they make one big picture, one big way. And they build upon each other. And it's not about, it is about focus, but focusing on how to connect, not focusing on how to divide. There's a big difference. Focusing on the connect instead of focusing on divide. And guys, I just want to say again, Ronnie is such a wealth of information. Can we talk about where we're doing? Yeah, you want to lead it in? Okay. Well, I got introduced to Ronnie through Fizz. Fizz just said, you need to meet Ronnie. You guys are going to love each other. And so we had a one-night stand like a few other people did. So we were good. They're like, yeah, Ronnie, I tried out the training wheels. We're good. And we just said, you know what? I think we could do a three-part system program that could really help people from start to finish. Adding a lot of things that aren't normally put together into a system that actually helped a lot of people do a lot of things. And so we were playing around with a lot of ideas, and I'll let Ronnie actually share the title, even though I came up with the name.
You did. Call it.
We had a couple Google Hangouts. We're like, what are we going to call this thing? And we were all on different tracks. And then all of a sudden, I said this title, and Ronnie's like eyes got huge. They got huge. I mean, for a Google Hangout, that's something to say. Like, huge. I'm like, ding ding, that's it. And we're all like, oh my God. And Ronnie's like saying, that needs to be a book. And that means all sorts of things. The title is Business Blah to Business Boom. So, business blah to business boom, and a lot of people are in that blah state, and they're stuck in the freaking mud, and they can't get out to the boom. And we're gonna have a lot of cool items to this. You guys aren't having enough fun, enough adventure in your business. And we want to bring the adventure back, like the pirates of old used to have.
Yeah,
Let's go
sometimes
find
I feel like I'm in
treasure.
school here, like some of the, sometimes people conversing and speaking like they're like, it's not school, and have fun. Life is short. Bring fun, bring your heart to it, bring that joy and that passion, and remember when you were a child, that's how you're supposed to be,
And that's really what you said. What it is a program that's about being truly enjoying your business and having fun back in your business. How do you put the fun? How do you enjoy the ride as opposed to just waiting to get to the destination? Again, beach versus the wave, right? And I think that's what. So look forward to that. That's what we want to bring. That's why they're here, to learn what I do, to learn what you need, and if you can share your stories with them when we're on break during the luau, I appreciate it. Give it up for Fizz, Dan,